My goal in presenting this committee update is really to remind all of us to keep in the forefront of our minds the importance for CPAs and for state boards to understand our role globally. It's not something we spend time at our meetings. It's not something that's probably on the agenda for the various state board meetings, but it is very important. I was on the airplane yesterday from Seattle and happened to bring along my latest Journal of Accountancy, which I usually read on airplanes. And by the way, congratulations AICPA on 125 years. It was an excellent issue. And it was very interesting to me. There was an interview with Barry Melanson, and it was exactly on point to one of my topic areas that I wanted to speak to today. And let me just read the quote out of his interview. Our vision for the U.S. CPA's global footprint vis-a-vis the credential's U.S. footprint is important to understand. We do not believe that in the near future there will be one accountancy credential for the whole world. He goes on to say, but we believe there will be 3 to 5 credentials that dominate from a global perspective. Our mission, and we hope our members' vision, is that the U.S. CPA will remain one of those. This is exactly what we talk about in our Global Strategies Committee. This is exactly why this committee was formed. So I couldn't have said it better than Barry with respect to that quote. And one thing that I wanted to really illustrate to each of you as well is the interrelationship that the various U.S. accounting bodies do have with their international counterparts or international bodies that they have a relationship with. Now, I understand you're going to need a decoder ring, the secret decoder ring, to actually understand what all these acronyms are. And I'm not going to go through all of them in interest of time, but essentially you can understand that the PCAOB has relationships with the international accounting regulators. The AICPA has interrelationships with, these are just 3 sample items that we pulled, the International Federation of Accountants, the Global Accounting Alliance, the Confederation of Asian and Pacific Accountants. You could go on and on and on with the variety of international organizations, other countries' organizations that do similar things to the AICPA. Both the SEC and the GAO also have international counterparts that they relate to as well. So we don't operate in a vacuum, and obviously as internet practice and we all understand that businesses are going more global, we do too. NASBA is definitely involved at a high level. I want to give you a couple of examples here. There are consultative advisory groups to many of these international organizations. Galen Hansen, who will be on the agenda later in this conference, or actually spoke earlier as well, is active in both international auditing standards and the ethics standards as our NASBA representative to that CAG, the Consultative Advisory Group, and our very own Dr. Johnson, International Education Standards. So NASBA has a seat at the table. Now, I wanted to quickly run through, in our committee, we've highlighted what we think some of the top issues are that we really are looking towards strategy, where can we get more seats at the table, and things that we ponder. And I'll just go through those quite quickly. We do want to make sure we understand the similarities and the differences in the regulatory systems so that we can better cooperate. Obviously, the CPA exam administered globally now, that is a very key area. And as Mr. Melanson mentioned, maintaining the strength and momentum of the CPA credential. We believe that it's important to get the seat at the table. We need to educate the standard setters as to what the state boards do and how NASBA can assist. We also want to make sure, as I mentioned earlier, that we're at the seat internationally, that we stay relevant. Cross-border regulation, international mobility do take a lot of time. And I want to advertise our international forum that's coming up this fall, because those 2 topics are going to be keynoted and spoke to at length. This is our, I think, fifth annual, there it is, the 5th annual. It's been a great conference. We get participation from all over the world. We have decided this year to hold it in connection with the annual meeting So the last day of the annual meeting will be the first day of the international conference. You will automatically be attending the first morning of the international conference. Okay. We must be concluding now. Okay. So you will be attending that if you do come to the annual meeting. I'll start yelling so you can hear. I think we're getting invaded. So complimentary registration, think about staying one extra night to attend the entire conference. It's just that one extra day. There's excellent topics, excellent speakers, and you will get a chance to rub elbows with our counterparts throughout the world. I'm not sure if we have a couple minutes for questions, but I'll ask the question and time for maybe a couple. Okay.